Hey y'all, welcome to Maui Mysteries, the channel that brings you interdimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view, as they are. Did I say the readings are from a broad and expanded point of view? Right, because they're channeled through vast dimensions of space and time, and therefore should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. Hey y'all! So we're finally doing the Q&A. I'm gonna break it up into separate sessions because I can't do all of the questions. No more sending questions. The cutoff has been done. So yeah, okay. The questions I have are the ones I'm doing, and that's that until next time. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into it so we don't waste time. Hey Zanne, so my people have been referring me to the Isbaya Soapy to learn about izinto eziningi. Ngichazwe kakhulu by i-character yakampi yakhe and ngizobuza ngaye. Ngiyathemba wawusibuka. Would you say umpi yakhe, the character, is an example yomuntu with iNzunza? Yes. Yes, I would say that. Nangu futhi sesizwa i-mermaid after bemenza umkhofu. Hey kuningi. Kahle kahle umbuzo wami uthi uyaba yini nenzunza and have no spiritual gift. Ube umuntu nje oziphilelayo. Yes. Okay. No. I don't mean that like that. So I want to firstly I would classify Umpiake as someone on Nzunza, definitely. The second part of the question that says Uyaba yini nenzunza and have no spiritual gift. I'm starting to understand how a lot of people have a socially constructed or social template connection to spiritual gifts. And therefore, when you guys, because I get a lot of people asking me, like, what are my spiritual gifts? What are my spiritual gifts? And I feel as though the expectation is, oh, you know how to heal people. You know how to, like, put your hands over someone and they're gonna be healed and they're gonna get a job and they're gonna stop being abusive or like something like that. Like, guys, chill. The socially constructed idea of gifts is that it always has to do with other people. It's this thing where you are at the center of this community that you are helping. And okay, there was a certain time when that was the case. When, like, especially in times of scarcity, and you need to understand that this thing where there's one healer for a community, it is a scarcity situation. It's a lack situation. Spiritual gifts, as they're now being labeled, is about expansion of consciousness. It's about you connecting to the next level of the human experience. It's about you transcending the current human condition, which is that which of lack, and connecting to timelines of abundance. That is the spiritual gift. Your ability to do that, that is the spiritual gift. Your ability to be a leader, to be sovereign in your life. Your ability to bring about in your life that which you need, that which you desire, the ability that you have to live a life that you want, the ability to be a person that you like, to be a person you can love, that you respect, to transcend these limiting thought patterns and emotional patterns that keep you in a state of cycles, of repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. Something that you don't want to be in but don't have the ability to be out of. Spiritual gifts have to do with getting yourself unstuck, freeing yourself from this state of being stuck or stagnation, and developing or creating this new version of yourself. That's what spiritual gifts are, have always been, but especially now. Especially now, especially with you guys. expand your idea of spiritual gift. So like with this question where it's like, can you have iNzunza and not have spiritual gifts? Why? Because iNzunza is literally about expanding your idea of yourself, expanding your ability to live. That is the spiritual gift. Don't limit spiritual gifts to being able to mix certain plants and heal someone of a fever or heal them from their inability to do this or that. The current form of spiritual gifts is coming in your ability to free yourself from karmic cycles. The whole, generational curses that y'all are breaking. Yeah, it's a spiritual gift to be able to do that. Why haven't the ones that have come before you been able to do that? Because they were not connected to the gift. They were not connected to iNzunza yabo mangabe iNzunza. And yes, Umpiake does have those qualities. Umpiake futhi has qualities as umuntu onamakhosi because he's very much got that leadership template down. He's very much resourceful. He's able to provide for him and his family. I want to say families. He's quite a resourceful person. He's able to bring about that which he's able to conceptualize. Like he dreams it and he makes it happen. And at the same time, he's able to stand up for himself, to protect himself from his enemies. It's actually very Nzunza energy. He's able to overcome the challenges that occur in his life. Like, I mean, I didn't finish the series, so I don't know if guys, but just speaking about the character in relation to this question, like, yeah. So I hope that answered your question. Next question. Spy was nice for a while. And for people outside of South Africa that have no idea what we were just speaking about, I mean, it's okay. It's not like we spoke about the soapy. I hope you caught on. Okay, next question. I'm not saying any names so that, in case the people you're talking about are also watching. Okay, so I have a specific question. It involves the last reading you posted about the entity being in love with someone. I'm having a very hard time accepting that that's me. I'm queer and I stay in blah, blah, blah. My question is, how am I supposed to accept love from the entity when, yes, I can feel it, but I can't see it? I haven't received genuine love since birth, just conditional. How am I supposed to love an entity in its current state if I can't see it? I'm overwhelmed. I'm kind of sad because what the fuck? Why the fuck can't I just get something normal? But knowing you'll say it's social conditioning, that's why I'm thinking like that. Yeah, definitely. But then I've gone through spiritual psychosis before. I'm afraid if I give this a try, I'll lose myself again. Babe, valid. Valid fear. Valid. At this point, it's like I don't trust myself at all. Also valid. I want to be loved. I want to love my entity, but I don't know how to. Whatever it is that is pulling on my energy, I can feel it, but I just end up sitting in silence because I don't know what to do and where to start. I ask it its name and I'll receive multiple names. Yes, because entities normally go by multiple names. Entities go by multiple names. I mean, think about it. This thing has been alive since primordial. Like, this thing is a primordial energy. It's been alive since before the word. So, I mean, why would I go by one name? I mean, I also wouldn't. Okay, which I know from your videos, that is the way they describe their nature to us, but what words should I use to get it to actually show up? This is so interesting. And let me see, what words should I use to get it to actually show up? and let me see it, or at least hold it. I feel like I'm already starting to love it, but it's giving toxic. Plus, the more it's around me, the more I want to do really strange stuff. You're horny. Then, like, strange, I'm talking dark fantasies. Oh shit, you're not horny. From like, I mean, I'm gonna say it. From drinking blood to very witchy stuff. The thought of hunting down child PDFs. You guys are on TikTok. You know what a PDF is. I'm not getting demonetized for reading your questions. Or grapists. So you want to hunt down people that grape and people that hurt children and feed from their lifeless bodies. Yo, that became that escalated really quick. I was okay with you just being horny. Yo, that escalated quick. Um, you see, it's you guys. You're gonna make other people think that like I have like this dark channel. The fuck. At the same time, I still can't seem to wrap my head around the fact that there's an entity in love with me. Okay. Lastly, I'm getting my finances together. Okay, cool. Don't worry about that. Okay. Wow. You see why it took me a long time to do your questions? I literally had to I had to go through an awakening to do these questions. Okay, cool. So firstly, finding it hard to believe that like or finding it hard to receive love from an entity that you can't see, you can't touch, and so forth. And yes, that is definitely social conditioning. Guys, you must remember you have ancestors in your bloodline that lived with less dense beings. Granted, they were able to see them, they were able to touch them in some form of way because they were also of a lighter density, not the same density we are now. We've moved so far like to one side of the spectrum, and that also obviously creates a gap and moves the less dense entities to an extreme other part of the spectrum, which is I guess what they call the veil, where we now cannot even see these entities. But the more you connect or the more you activate your original template, because your original template knows everything that's out there, because it's been everything that's out there, you are able to open your consciousness up, the part of you that processes reality, to see things that other people and feel things and sense things that other people that haven't expanded their consciousness are able to do. So in this situation, I mean, there's no thing, I mean, like, you can't force it. You know, what can I tell you? Like, oh, okay, but let's move to the blood hungry part because I find that so fascinating because I want to tell you something about your entity, which is interesting because you also said you were queer. Because your entity is it's giving Sekhmet when she's on her bloodlust. Some people may not know this, but Sekhmet is actually a daughter of Ra, the sun god. But Ra would let loose Sekhmet when he's now kind of like tired of humans like being barbaric and like stupid. And then he would like allow Sekhmet, who, this is so interesting because Sekhmet and the entity you guys know as Hathor, even though Hathor is Venusian, just stay with me for this one. Sekhmet and the entity you guys know as Hathor are actually one person. So this entity that is about love and is about sensuality and is about expression of love and sensuality and higher teachings and healing is also the same entity that is able to carry rage and carry this anger towards unfair treatment, towards imbalances in nature or what can be perceived as imbalances in nature. And when Sekhmet gets, or when this entity is in that stage of anger and so forth, then that is the entity that we know as Sekhmet. And Sekhmet, yeah, she goes wild with it. with the bloodlust, that is. Which also, though, it's not literal. Never read those kind of things as literal. It's always like, I mean, it's spiritual talk, it's code for something. But in the meantime, Boo, I would honestly say to you that you've obviously got certain feelings when it comes to people that have hurt children or people that, grape. And it's obviously because it's personal. It's personal. It's how you are processing your own certain emotions. And that part of you, you've given it a face. And it's interesting how that's connected to you also talking about how you've only received love when it's conditional. Um, it's interesting. It's actually very interesting because I think we underestimate also with entities how they have stories that have brought them to that point. Because right now, what I'm feeling is kind of like a segment kind of feeling like imagine your father only approaches you when like it's time for you to go set fire to the village. Other than that, he doesn't talk to you. He talks to this other version of yourself. Maybe they're not one person, maybe they're twins. And your father's always talking to your sister because she's about love and benevolence. But when, as soon as the humans annoy him, all of a sudden it's you. Because also, to get Sekhmet into this point, apparently they have to make her drink something. So they drug her, and then she goes blood crazy. So that may be something your entity is trying to tell you. Ukuthi ifuna ukuhlambululwa. Or your entity is asking also for a type of cleansing, a type of oh my god, this is so interesting. Like your entity is encouraging you to process certain emotions that you haven't processed for a long time based on everything that you've written here, based on the feeling that you get. Yeah, there's a calling, a yearning to process these emotions of being hurt by people that you trust, by feeling as if you're only loved when you are being used. And it's interesting that the Hathor part came up because, okay, fine, let's say they're not sisters, let's say they are one person. The part that is Hathor is saying that's not true, you know? It's okay to be a whole person, but it's necessary to process certain emotions. You inherit too much power to long to be out of control or to be used as a weapon. Because that also happens sometimes, guys. Sometimes people around you are aware of how you're able to channel that kind of anger and that type of rage, and they use you. They use you against other people that they don't like. Even nasendlini. Uthola ukuthi, like, you find that your parents is not able to be a disciplinarian or they're not strong and they're aware. Now, let's say as a firstborn son or as a firstborn daughter, maybe not even firstborn, but it most likely happens to the firstborns. You are like that. You have leadership qualities. If you're not firstborn, you're the one who, ohamba, like, with that draconian energy or namakhosi wagin akhethe wena. So you tend to have these leadership qualities. So this parent is always telling you, Guti, oh, this child did this, so instead of disciplining them themselves, they tell you about it. When you go and now you are disciplining your siblings. Now your siblings hate you. They go back to the mother and they're like, lawyer pap, babam. And the lawyer tool, the grown-up keeps quiet. They don't say that, yeah, I'm the one that told them. No, they keep quiet because they used you. They use you as a weapon. And then go back and make you the scapegoat. That's actually where the whole scapegoat thing actually comes from. And then they make you the scapegoat. They be telling those kids, their favorite kids, that they don't want to discipline. They make you discipline them. So yeah, just find your way around that, around everything that we've just said. And yeah, yeah, that's for that question. So, okay, this person says one of the things that still trips me up is why does it feel like there are structural barriers to connecting and aligning to Kamata, the Most High? Not societal as such. Okay, so source, I'm still reading the question. Source is the pure energy that is the all, here to experience itself through us. We are the souls, personality types, and the all expanding is going through. There's angels and there's everyone who's supposedly ready to help me remember and reconnect and align. How come some are dangerous and some are not? So you're talking about the entities that are here. There's angels and everyone who's supposedly ready to help me remember. So you're talking about the entities and the angels. How come some are dangerous and not others? If you've done the dark night of the soul and have come out the other side, how are the very beings that I'm assuming have been placed in the game board to help me, to help you, capable of also hurting you? I say hurt because of the limitations in the words. Um, is this when psychosis happens? When the entity or the update you've gone through is not supported by the personality? Yes. How is that possible? It's like that thing I was saying last time. How you enter a room is so important. How you enter into your awakening is so important. Like sometimes you'll be going through an awakening, but you'll be too loud. You're out here telling everybody. That's what I mean when I say things of like the way you enter a room. Like sometimes you're going through an awakening and you're telling everybody. You're telling everybody how you dreamt of this and you dreamt of that. And yeah, okay. Like chill. As my father would say, u hleketa swa ku vanhu lava va ku rhandza. U hleketa swa ku vanhu lava va lava swa ku swilo swa wena swi famba kahle. Like, no, bruh. Think of that little poor boy, Nelly Joseph, busy telling his brothers how God showed him that they are going to bow to him. Are you crazy? Chill. Like, sometimes, and like, yes, yeah. Is it the personalities that retained their consciousness and those are showing up as entities? That's a very high level question. We'll get to that. Okay, cool. That's hectic. Is it the personalities that retained their consciousness and those are showing up as entities? That's interesting because it's a collaboration. It's like when you embody iNzunza. Do you understand that these are two personalities that are like coming together? And sometimes your personality is like, I'm scared. This is too much. Umitapenga. Slowly, easy does it. Gancane gancane. Don't do this thing where you want everybody to see you as the shining star and the returned Messiah, and you want everybody to be like, "Oh my God, we knew it. We knew all along that you were the one." Chill. Allow your awakening to happen softly, to happen properly. Understand that it's a private thing. It's a union between you and divinity, however divinity has showed up at that time, be it through iNzunza, be it through some higher ritual between you and certain ancestors or entities, be it between you and God. Like, allow yourself for this to be just about you for a while and work your way through it. Psychosis normally happens when there's certain things in your life that you haven't processed. Like, for instance, someone passes away, or your marriage goes to shit, or you lose a job, something like, and you didn't process that. Instead, you immediately threw yourself into, oh, this happened to me because I have a calling, or this happened to me because I'm a spiritual child. Like, that's might be true. Okay, sharp, we get that. But also, that shit hurts. A part of you died, a part of you is no longer. You got to deal with that. There's emotions that come with that. You can't just skip the whole emotional turmoil that you go through with that and just jump into, oh yeah, like I'm a chosen one, therefore blah 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 blah. You're gonna start talking weird because there's certain emotions that you haven't processed. The way in which you've entered the room, you are slowly disintegrating. Is just that you haven't noticed yet. You are slowly coming apart. You entered the room too quickly, the room is eating you. So, yeah, in terms of like how is it that some entities are good for you and some aren't, it's not even that. I don't even want to lie to you. I know we be talking about like, or the spiritual community talks about demons and like all of that stuff and whatever. I'm sorry, I cannot speak on anything like that because that is just not my experience. Mina, the way I've experienced things is that things that people may call demons and whatnot is just things that you don't have the full information about. And yes, you can come across something and you can be like, oh no, this is a bad thing, whatever. Yeah, you don't have the full information if you allow yourself to allow this situation to unfold instead of deciding, oh no, I'm running for my life, fuck this, I'm gonna go ask this person to come pray for me, or I'm gonna start mixing up shit in order to protect myself because blah 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 blah. And it's cool, you can like do that in the most like calmest of ways. Guys, I get to that's what it's why is for. It's just, and that's another thing I think people don't even know what is why is for, is to help you calibrate. Your protection is your ability to calibrate. Your protection is your ability to open your mind and make space for that which is occurring in your life. Because lento le uyayazi, the only reason why you're afraid is because you've forgotten that you know this thing. And because the latest social templates have told you, they've labeled this thing for you and they've told you, Jen, that's evil, that's an evil spirit, that's a whatever, whatever. But if you allow yourself to connect to the primordial part of yourself, then you remember. You remember what this was before they told you what it was, and you remember that this is an aspect of you. And if you don't like how it looks, it's up to you to expand it and make it into that which you like. So, okay, fine. You're saying you're coming across this entity that possibly, beings that I'm assuming have been placed in the game board to help you are capable of hurting you. The only thing that could ever hurt you is your inability to understand, your inability to process what you are spiritually hearing, spiritually seeing. How do you avoid that? Go slow. Sungama. Go slow. Things take time to unfold. Guys, do you know an entity can say something to you today and you only understand it 3 years from now? Now, people can be watching this and be like, I don't have 3 years. That's y'all's problem. Everything must be now, now. And I resonate with that. Like, my mom is always shouting at me for that. Like, how instant gratification is my thing. I get it, but I had to learn. I had to learn that. And how do I know that? Because that I've experienced that. Like, an entity can say something to you today and you're like, what? What does that mean? Whatever. And throughout these years, the reason why you're only finding out 3 years later is because you're putting together a language. You're putting together the translation. It's kind of like those movies where like the Stargate has this like those what are they called? Hieroglyphs, whatever, like the, like the Egyptian like signs, and they don't know what it means, and they're busy translating. Them translations can take like 15 years. That's kind of what you're doing. You're expanding yourself in order to uncover this language so that you can understand like what is it. And don't worry, you're not late. When you discover what exactly that meant, that's when you now need the translation. That's when you now need to know what it is. You didn't need to know any sooner than that. So basically, to sort of answer or to answer your question as best I can, no entity is there to hurt you. However, your understanding of whatever is happening may feel like it's there to hurt you. Like you may have your fear activated and you may not be able to get through that threshold. And so you'll always think that you came across a demon or you came across a dark being and it wanted to hurt you and it wanted to do this. All you needed to do was expand your consciousness. And yes, I'm telling you guys that from experience. Wait till I start telling you guys about succubuses and incubuses. I'll try to make that my next reading. Okay, so this one's gonna be the last one, you guys, for today. No, I'm not doing this again tomorrow. Maybe next week I'll pick another couple of questions. Okay, so my question for the session is: Can an archangel be an entity, or is it the entity presenting itself as an archangel? I have had several visits from Archangel Michael. I know that he is in charge of my safety and my security, but for the last month, I've been feeling the feeling has shifted, and I have leaned on the love passion vibe he has been expressing, and it is kind of like we were an item in some previous lifetimes, and when I was in my purest form, and when I question this, I question if can a human or an angel love a human or vice versa. And the only answer I get from him is that I have wings too and that I'm an angel too and I'm not human. Oh my God, Zanne, am I losing my mind? No. It's getting intense and I'm resonating with your readings because the last interaction that I had with this angel, he came to give me, I don't want to tell everyone what he gave you because I think this is too personal, lovey, so I'm not going to read this part. So he gave you something. The entity or the angel gave this person a gift, okay, guys? And basically showered her with some love. No, like words of love, guys. Words of love. And immediately the feelings I had for this angel or entity was feelings of love. I'm so in love now. I long for this angel and I want to feel his presence around me. Oh my God, Zanne, what the fuck is this? Is this real? Who is this? Is this an entity or is this an angel? I love you guys. I love you guys. You guys are hilarious. The more I read these questions, the more I realize how similar we are. Oh my God. As in just in the way in which you deal with things. Like you guys are so genuine, you're so sincere, you're so open. And at the same time, you're also genuinely freaked out. And who wouldn't be? I like how you're honest about that. So, can an angel be an entity? Yeah, an angel is an entity. Like when I say entity, that's why I say the word entity and I don't name the entities because it could be anything. Some of you are in love with succubuses and incubuses, but like I said, story for another day. Yes, an angel is an entity and the angel may be showing you an image the entity may be showing you an image of an angel because it wants to. Okay, number one, it's hacked you and it knows that you feel safe around that kind of energy. And that's okay. Some people may say that's manipulative. It's okay. Number two, it's also telling you about his personality. So it's matching the energies. And apparently, my beggar, when it looks within your files internally, you match this kind of level or ability to do good or be in touch with a concept like God, something like that. You you relay that or relate that to angels. So it's showing you that I am like this, like I am like this. I am like this. However, the fact that the angel is also giving romantic love vibes is giving entity. I mean, I want to say something else, but I don't think people are ready. It's giving entity, kind of like past life type of thing, trying to show you why it would come find you in this life also. I need to do a reading about the fallen, yes, because I can't keep tiptoeing around it. The Watchers, as Enoch called them. I'm gonna be honest with you, babe, especially because this is the last question. I'm gonna give it to you straight. The entity that you're talking about is one of the Watchers. And you clearly have within your bloodline, which at this point, for your case, I want to say past life. I'm glad I didn't say your name because I'm telling your business to everybody. You were basically one of those people who connected with the Watchers. Remember how Enoch was telling us about how the Watchers became attracted to the human beings, and apparently these human beings had their children. Not all of them. Others, how do I put this? There's lots of things you can create through sexual energy. It's not just a physical child. And this ancestor of yours, yeah, I don't know why I do this. Yeah, so anyway, yeah. Girl, I know who you are. You've booked a reading. We'll talk. Okay, cool. But yeah, for everybody else, because I said people must ask their questions because everybody else may get something from the questions. Like I said, entity, I've answered her question as far as everybody's concerned, in the sense that the love connection is totally valid because they may know each other from a past life. And also, yes, the entity could quite actually be her guardian angel. And at the same time, oh, that's why it was saying to you, you also have wings. I mean, I kind of get what they're saying, but okay, cool. But that's why also, though, it could just be an entity, any other entity that is showing what qualities it has to this person. It's showing her that you can trust me, that I'm a good person, like, as far as duality is concerned. But also it's almost like the entity is also communicating to her that I am connected with a higher power. So that's why it's also showing an angel, because angels supposedly work for God, right? So it's also trying to communicate that there are others above me. However, it's actually quite a very open entity. So yeah, that's how you would break down certain images that you are shown by your entities. And yes, it's completely normal for you to translate your connection to an entity as love. It's completely normal. It's completely normal. So yeah, this has become quite a long video. You guys, like, we'll talk. Yeah, I'll do more questions maybe next week. Okay. That's what I have for you guys today. The things resonated. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to book a reading, a personal reading, or a mentorship session, I swear to God. Everything is in the description box, you guys. I don't know why I feel like the person that was talking about loving an entity even though you can't touch it, and if you can't, I feel like ngigropile wena. Boo. That's just the nature of it. I know you wanted to become a person so you can touch them and you can have a whole soulmate and have a love of your life. You don't understand, ne? Like, it's a spiritual journey, and that's part of it. That isn't what you're going through. again, this is the person who was talking about the entity and being loved by something that they can't see or touch or feel or whatnot. I feel like I shortchanged you and I didn't give you enough answers. What you're going through is part of a certain initiation. It's not going to turn into a person. There's things that you need to learn. That's why you're going through it like this. I understand your whole thing about why is it that your unconditional love must come from something you can't see or touch or feel, and yet in the world you're experiencing conditional love. It's to teach you certain things about love. It's to remind you of certain higher teachings about love. You're going through a whole initiation. And yeah, I know I answered you with your other stuff, but I felt like I had to say something about that. So yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, cool. Later.